start to hear is sudden death or heat illness, death that results from heat illness. Currently right now, national statistics, only 46% of high schools, and I'm just talking about high schools, in the United States have access to an athletic trainer. There's a lot of high schools, and I don't know, where are most of you from? What high school? I'm sorry? Okay. I don't know if you have athletic trainers where you're at, but there's a lot of high schools around this area that do not have an athletic trainer, which, you know, if you have a library, you have a librarian. If you have athletics or any type of competitive sports, you should have an athletic trainer. So there's only 46%. So our national association, the NATA that they talked about, they're trying to get more and more athletic trainers at these high schools to deal with these catastrophic injuries, any type of head injuries, any type of musculoskeletal injury, any type of heat illness, especially when the temperature raises and we're having athletics outside. How many people have been running outside, you felt lightheaded, felt dizzy, felt like you need to sit in the shade? Well, that could really turn into something severe if not treated. And that's why there's athletic trainers out there. So the one thing with our profession that's really starting to help us out is this whole concussion debate and the heat illness. So that's what makes it a fast and up and coming profession. 70% of athletic trainers have their master's degree, which we kind of touched upon. The entry level, the basic level you need is your bachelor's degree, but most athletic trainers go back and get their master's degree. In order to work in the college setting, you need to have your master's degree. If you want to teach in a college, or if you want to become a faculty member, then others, I think it's around 7 to 8% of athletic trainers go and get their doctorate. So there is starting to become more of a demand for athletic trainers. How many people have heard of physician assistants, PAs? Anybody in here interested in being a PA? I know it's kind of early. You have a long time planning that out. PAs typically work in a physician's office, but what we're starting to see is athletic trainers are starting to work in physicians' offices, especially in the orthopedic setting. Reason being is physician assistants, they have their master's degree, but they only go through a 6-week course in orthopedics, whereas athletic trainers have 4 years plus if they get their master's in orthopedics. So orthopedic surgeons are starting to recognize that athletic trainers have more of a foundational skill set to work in that clinic. So that's a long drawn out answer to your question, but hopefully that helps. Any other questions? Okay, really quickly, these three are going to discuss why they chose athletic training, kind of their career to get here, their path to get to Cal, why they chose Cal, and then we're going to do some fun stuff. We'll get you out of your seat, this way you're not falling asleep like you are already, and have you doing some fun stuff. Right?
No, they're not. I know they're not.
It's cold in here. Put on clothes. It's cold outside.
I chose athletic training because I did gymnastics for about 12 years, and we had no athletic trainer whatsoever. So when I got to high school, we did have an athletic trainer, and I started on the track team, and I sustained a ankle sprain, which is quite common in pretty much all sports. So then I worked closely with my athletic trainer from that point, and just kind of realized that that's kind of something that I'd be interested in, because I've always liked the medical field. I knew that's kind of where I wanted to go with my career. I just didn't know where in it, because there's so many things you can do. But I also like sports, so that helps, because you get to watch games and practices. So with that, that's how I kind of chose athletic training.
I chose athletic training because I actually did student athletic training at my high school because we had an athletic trainer, and I had no idea what it was before I went to high school, but as I worked with the 2 athletic trainers we had at our high school, I realized I really wanted to go into something in the medical field, but I really liked the sports aspect that athletic training had. So junior year I started looking at places, and I thought Cal had the best program for athletic training.
athletic training during my junior year in high school. I had played basketball for 2 years in high school, and I got cut from the varsity squad. So I asked coach, was there any way, I could stay involved with the team, even if it was, a water boy or doing stats or something. And yeah, he told me to go talk to a guy named Andy, and I had never heard of him before because I never gotten hurt. And I went up to Andy, I introduced myself, and he said, oh, here, he handed me the basketball schedule, the lacrosse team schedule, the volleyball team schedule, and he said, pick and choose whatever home games you want to come to. Showed me where his office was. Said, come down, hang out after school sometime, I'll teach you how to tape, put ice bags on, that kind of stuff. And I think I went to every basketball game, every lacrosse, every volleyball game my junior year. And during my senior year, I did just about every sport that my high school had. I was there every day after school, at practice, at games, everything. And I just fell in love with it because it was so much fun, because I love sports so much. And then I started looking at colleges, and I started looking around the area because I wanted to stay close to Pittsburgh, and I found Cal, and it was probably one of the best decisions I made because I've loved my 4 years here. I wouldn't trade it for anywhere else. Adam has been a great influence, great mentor for me. He's developed me professionally, academically, and clinically. And now, in about a month and a half, I'm graduating from Cal. I'm going to be moving on either to grad school or to a job or internship. And I'm so glad that I even asked my high school basketball coach, can I stay involved with the team? He found me this way of staying involved. The skills that I learned back as a junior in high school have set the foundation for where I want to go for the rest of my life.
Any questions? All right, everybody stand up.